Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. Wanted to bring out the Sunday school little devotion here this morning. If you have your Bible, turn it to Hebrews chapter 12. Going to be focusing on verse number 1. I titled this message, Running the Race. I'm going to go ahead and read Hebrews chapter 12, verse number 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Like I said, I've titled this Running the Race. I don't know if any of you guys are runners or long-distance runners. I know I'm not, that's for sure. But long-distance runners, I know a little bit about it, because with sports, I played football and stuff growing up, so long-distance running, know a little bit about it. I know that that their bodies have to be really lean, have to be they're strong, have to be because they're wanting to, it's hard for them to build endurance, and they want to build endurance for long races. But on race day, they want to have the lightest clothes as possible, the lightest shoes. They want to have tight shirts. They don't want anything to slow them down. They want to be able to run as fast as possible, and to help them do the best they can in the race. To run the race that God has set before us, we must also lay aside the extra weight we have in our lives, and because we don't want anything to slow us down in our run in the race with our life and with Jesus Christ. So I want to focus on 3 points here, and so how can we do that? How can we lose the weight to make us run to keep endurance and strength to run the race? How can we do that? Brother Stephen always says, "I'm glad you asked." So point number 1. Choose close friends who are committed to the race. Wrong friends, people we hang out with, may have different values or activities that may distract us during the race. We have to make sure that the people we're hanging out with in everyday lives, hopefully they're not weighing us down. Are they making you are they holding you down during your race with Christ? Much of your own weight may result from the crowd you run with, or maybe even the choices that you make with the crowd you run with. Anybody in the world today, there's alcohol, drugs, a lot of addictions that we can get easy to step in the wrong path and hang around people and hold us down in a race with God. But we have to make the wise decisions and run the right race that God has set before us and keep on track with Him. Point number 2, we may have to drop certain activities in our lives. There's things that we all enjoy in our lives. It could be anything, but that could weigh us down from Christ. Missing church. I know it seems like when I'm hunting on Sunday mornings that right when it's time to go to church, their wildlife always comes out, and every time it's like the devil's just trying to tempt us to stay in the woods and forget about church. But we have to drop those activities to make sure that we are at church. Sometimes we have to make sure that we're at church when God's doors are open. I remember growing up, we'd be hunting, and Dad would always make us, as soon as it hit 8:30, it didn't matter where we was or if there was turkeys or deer in front of us, we were leaving. And I used to get so mad because that was always when they came out. And now looking back on that, I thank God for a dad that put Christ first and helped us and brought us to church, me and my brother. But some activities we may have to drop. I know a lot of you youth, with school being out, or even adults, your job. You may not have a job right now with this coronavirus. It's made us drop some of our activities that maybe that weight us down in our walk with Christ. So you have to look at your life and see if some of those activities that you've been doing, at school or whatever, has weighed your weight down. Right now may be a good time to see if it has brought you down. Because with your, being at home or, out of school or don't have a job, that can help, you could look at your own results, look back and see if there's activities in your life that's weighed your life down with the running a race with God. Third point, a lot of times it's hard to get help for addictions that disable you. Especially being at home right now, seems like there's not much going on. There ain't much you could do. A lot of things are closed, and it's very easy to get addicted to things. You can get addicted to drugs, alcohol. There's all sorts of things in the world that are not good in God's eyes and shouldn't be in our. If we believe in Jesus Christ, it shouldn't be good in our eyes either. There's a lot of things in the world today that seem like they're okay to do. But as in God's eyes, in God's standards, there's a lot of things that ain't good in the world to God's eyes. So if you have a secret weight, admit it to God, which God already knows it. But get help today. Ask God to come in your life and help you. He can help us get through anything, and He already knows what we're going through. But call out to Him and ask Him to come in your life and help you and save you. January 25th, 2007, I asked Christ to come in my life and save me. It's the best decision I've ever made in my life. I know I've not ran the perfect race by no means. I'm not perfect. I fail God every day. I ain't nowhere near perfect, that's for sure. But God's helped me. I asked Him to come in my life and save me, and He's helped me run the race. And He'll help you run the race too. So closing with this, to run the race that God has set before us, we must lay down aside excess weight that slows us down by choosing the right friends, dropping the right activities, and getting help for addictions. Removing this weight will help you build endurance and strength for the race that God has set before us. If you've not asked Christ to come in your life and save you, today would be a great day to ask Him to come in your life and save you. Let's close in prayer. Our dear and Father, Lord, just want to thank you for this day, Lord, and just thank me blessings of life, Lord. Just thank you for everything you've given us, Lord. You've blessed me more than I deserve, Father. And Father, I know I'm nowhere near perfect, Father, but thank you for sending your Son down on the cross for my sins, Father. I'll never forget that day that I asked you to come in my life and save me, Father. It was the best decision I've ever made, Father. Father, just pray for whoever's out here listening, Lord. Just pray and help them to run the race, Lord. Help the race that you've set before them, Lord. Just pray if there's one that doesn't know you, Lord, just please save them before it's everlasting too late. In Jesus' name I pray.